Michael Elgin then into the finals of the Pro Wrestling World Cup for Canada, but who will join him? Kyle O'Reilly or Mike Bailey?
Well, if any two men in the first round took more damage and still went through to the second round than Kyle O'Reilly and Mike Bailey, well, I don't know who it is because there isn't anybody, Dave. This is going to be very interesting. I'll be surprised if Mike Bailey can still come out here in one piece. That was an incredible showing.
Well, Kyle O'Reilly, I'll be surprised if he can come out on 2 feet because that left leg was absolutely decimated by Tyson Duke.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is a semi-final match in the WCPW World Cup Canadian qualifiers and is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Montreal, Quebec, weighing in at 185 pounds, Speedball Mike Bailey.
Mike Bailey beat Brent Banks in the first round in a high-flying thriller. But as you said, Alex, he took a tremendous amount of punishment on the way to doing so. He has had just a little bit longer to rest than his opponent here, and that could be a deciding factor because what's going to matter here more than anything is who has the most fuel left in the tank out of these two tremendous competitors.
Well, I said earlier, Brett Banks and Mike Bailey was going to be outstanding. I'll tell you something right now. If Kyle O'Reilly comes to this ring, which I believe he will, this may just be the second match of the night. Making them the matches of the night. That would make more sense.
I understood, yeah.
And his opponent, from Vancouver, British Columbia, weighing in at 210 pounds, the Violent Artist, Kyle O'Reilly.
O'Reilly still limping on that left leg after the match against Tyson Dukes, and normally I would say that O'Reilly was the favourite here because he's the more decorated of the two wrestlers. We mentioned earlier, former Ring of Honor world champion, among other things, but you've got to wonder here whether, in these circumstances, whether Mike Bailey might be able to get a victory over O'Reilly that he otherwise would not be able to get.
It's a very good point, because, you know, if all the body parts to have damage, the one you don't want is your leg. It's hard to mask it. I mean, you saw that on the way down to the ring. An injury anywhere else, I guess apart from maybe the ankle, you don't telegraph it to everybody. Everybody in this building knows the pain that Kyle O'Reilly is in. Most of all, unfortunately for O'Reilly, is his opponent, Mike Bailey. I mean, he's going to smell blood like a shark.
And Bailey, I'm sure he is masking some pain after that first round, but he looks just on the face of it to be in much better condition than O'Reilly, so let's see what happens here.
Fist bump of honour.
One of these two men going to join Michael Elgin as the Canadian representatives in the finals of the Pro Wrestling World Cup in England this August. Roundhouse kick attempt there from Bailey, and O'Reilly needs to just play Matador here a little bit, not get suckered into anything too early. O'Reilly, what can you do here, Alex, to protect that left leg?
I was just thinking if Matador was Spanish for doormat. I mean, I'm not sure at this point. It's not just protecting the leg, it's protecting against the overall speed of Mike Bailey. I mean, this guy, she just moves so fast, it's like you need eyes all over your head to be able to keep an eye on him.
He's got that martial arts background that's helped him so much in his career so far, Bailey.
Look. Feet of fury. You'd have to be a fly to be able to stay up to speed with where his kicks were going.
O'Reilly is holding his own here to a point, but it's just a matter of time. You've got to think till Bailey lands one on the left leg.
And that was interesting there, because Kyle O'Reilly has a very interesting stance. His head is always down, protecting his chin and neck. And right there, Mike Bailey had it well scouted, grabbed him in that front face lock. The other pressure is that's going to be on Kyle O'Reilly is because he leans forward with his stance. He's quite heavy with his, you know what I'm saying? He hunches over quite a bit with that fighter stance. That puts even more pressure on the knees. It takes the pressure of the stance off the hips and onto the knees.
And of course, not used to leading with his left leg in that stance, and that means that's got a big target on it. It's put front and center for Bailey. And he hit one there, and O'Reilly instantly, after what wasn't too much of a hard shot, had to immediately retreat to the outside, which tells you just how bad the condition of that leg is.
Well, you say it wasn't too much of a hard shot, but there's no way of really telling. If he hit it, face on the knee pad, that's somewhat protected. But if he hit it on the side, which it looked like he did, I mean, that's just going to send shockwaves all through the leg and up the body.
But don't get me wrong, I wouldn't want to be kicked in the leg by Mike Bailey, even if my leg was in perfect condition.
That was unfortunate, because I was just going to volunteer to kick you in the head. See how it felt. I mean, it felt great for me.
Please don't do that. Cover attempt by O'Reilly. And he's got Bailey down on his back. O'Reilly is going to try, he's trying to leap over the legs to get into a pinning position, I think.
Yeah, and interestingly, Mike Bailey is like trying to keep Kyle O'Reilly at bay. They're really trying to prevent him from getting close to him like we saw in that first round contest.
Well, O'Reilly eventually found a way round, but Bailey has gone back behind him into a rear waist lock. And if this is on the mat, then that takes away the disadvantage that O'Reilly had.
That's a very good point. Oh my God, you keep making them. This is strange. Have you been on my Red Bulls again? I had a whole case of them, they've all vanished.
Well, Bailey is back to his feet. Of course I haven't stolen your Red Bull. I'm not a thief.
They've gone somewhere. It's a case for Sherlock Holmes.
I don't think it was Red Bulls that you were drinking at the bar earlier, so I know it wasn't you who drank them.
Well, there was Red Bull in it, just balanced with vodka.
In any case, we are back up to our feet now, and it's O'Reilly and Bailey once more just testing each other out here.
And look at this. Smart there by Kyle O'Reilly, trying to defend against those kicks, but unfortunately he has to defend against them with his kneecap, and that's the part that's injured.
Goes for the bottom rope, and O'Reilly will have to make the break. Bailey is complaining to the referee about something here. I'm not sure what it is, but O'Reilly is having to sit down again just to take the pressure off his leg from standing up. O'Reilly here just hoping, I think, that adrenaline's going to carry him through this one, but I guarantee you he won't be able to walk on that left leg tomorrow.
I guarantee you the more that he keeps breaking the momentum, the less chance there is of having an adrenaline rush. It does the opposite.
You're saying O'Reilly needs to keep the pace fast.
And now he is. Now he is.
He picks him up, slams him down into that MMA position, the ground and pound. Exactly.
Open hands, Dave, which nowhere near as effective as when you do it in MMA.
Again, O'Reilly to the ropes. This time Bailey having a little rest in the opposite corner. Crowd completely absorbed by this, and it's a very different contest if you think about it to the one we just saw. They spent the first couple of minutes of...
well, it's got different people in it.
I know that. But it's also, Smith and Elgin spent the first few minutes brawling in the crowd. This has been a technical battle here. And the headlock from Bailey.
And I don't think if I'd have been offered the bet or the odds of it being Bailey who put the first headlock on in this match, I would have taken those. Thought I'd be flying back in a private jet. I'd have been wrong.
I thought you were going to fly back in your helicopter. Anyway, Bailey still cinching down on that headlock.
I think that's a mistake. So it's giving O'Reilly a chance to regroup, which is exactly what he's doing with those elbows to the back.
Sends Bailey to the ropes as O'Reilly. Leapfrog, roll through from Bailey, who's right there and hits the left leg. Big target on that leg once again as a backflip lands on his feet. Does Bailey, great agility. Dragon screw.
Look at that. And this is what Bailey wants to do. Keep the offense thick and fast I mean, this just could be Bailey's night. Not only has he just already stolen the show, in my opinion, in his first round contest, but this could be the night he makes global headlines by beating Kyle O'Reilly, because the history books won't show that O'Reilly was injured. They will just show who scored the win.
As much as it's unfortunate to see O'Reilly with an injury here, it's also worth saying that Bailey would fully deserve that spot after that incredible first round match against Brent Banks.
Well, it's been a night of upsets so far, particularly what we saw earlier with Gabriel Kidd and Zack Sabre Jr. I mean, that's got to be considered an upset, even though Kidd is the champion.
Yeah, I'm still picking my jaw up off the floor from that one, but...
No, you've just got a big mouth.
Thank you. What was that, back to your normal ways after a compliment. You can't do 2 compliments in a row, can you?
Not with you. I could do it with my Shaneaholics, but not with you.
With who?
That's what I call my fans.
Have you ever had any fans?
I've got plenty of fans.
Electric fans?
That's hot in my house, yeah.
Exactly. I saw where that one was going. Anyway, O'Reilly again. But just really weak on that left knee as he's holding it. Bailey is sizing it up, just staring at that part of the body. O'Reilly trying to fight back with forearms.
Oh, look at that speed of those kicks. My gosh. Relentless. Unstoppable.
Incredible stuff from Mike Bailey.
Gosh.
He won't stop. Literally unstoppable and will not stop. Completely relentless from Mike Bailey until he finally grabs and slaps to O'Reilly. He's caught him in.
Oh.
There you go.
Overhead belly to belly with the leg hooks.
Yeah, and look at how Bailey landed. He's holding the back of his head. Landed hard on the back of the skull there, and O'Reilly thought he had him rattled enough to steal a 3 count. He got 2.
And strangely, O'Reilly may have allowed Mike Bailey to burn himself out with those kicks. I mean, doing repeated kicks like that is actually often used as a cardio exercise because that's how much energy it takes. And it's almost like O'Reilly used rope-a-dope and let Bailey just burn himself out so he could start inflicting the offense.
And this might be an example of where the previous damage done to Bailey comes into effect, because he must still be pretty exhausted from that match with Banks. And as much as O'Reilly's left leg is in trouble, do not think that Bailey is coming into this 100%. That would be a mistake.
Well, in wrestling, I find exhaustion, much like jogging, the first place you feel it, other than the lungs, is the legs. You know, like the legs, once they have been exhausted, they feel very weak. So to hit that many repeated kicks, I think in some ways is a bad strategy. You don't want to do 100 kicks that are semi-effective. You want to do 2 or 3 that are majorly effective.
Definitely the case that Bailey has really had to slow down here since those kicks, as O'Reilly lands one between the shoulder blades and another one.
See the difference there?
Now O'Reilly picking up Bailey, and he's going to maybe try for a shin breaker. Gets it. And what's he trying? Maybe a submission hold here from O'Reilly.
Oh!
Wow.
Wow. Double stereo wows from the commentators there. That must have been painful. And we've just seen Zack Sabre Jr. He's the king of that kind of offense.
Okay, I hope I don't see Zack Sabre Jr. for a couple of hours, because he is probably still livid. You don't want to be near him at the moment after how frustrated he is at losing that title match earlier.
Shin breaker straight into a belly to back. And then, oh, look at that. Held onto that leg.
And he's trying to level the playing field here by doing the same kind of damage to Bailey's leg that's been inflicted on his own. Bailey is in some trouble. He's a long way from the ropes. There's repeated kicks from Bailey to finally free himself.
I was going to say he tried to kick his lights out, but the lights came on. Do you think that was connected? Or just a
No, I don't think that was
coincidence?
connected. What is wrong with you? Bailey is struggling again to get some feeling back into that left leg. O'Reilly seems to be finding a second wind in his case. clubbing blow across the left shoulder. It's like what you said earlier, Alex, as well. He doesn't really take his arms off his opponent. Always having some part of the body connected if he can is O'Reilly. Look, still again there.
Oh,
Finally ends it with arm first, smash into the canvas.
and back to what you said there a second ago, the advantage of staying so fixed to his opponent was every time he went under with that wrist lock, the arm got more and more taut until it was only just a couple of fast steps that it was required to drive the shoulder of Bailey into that canvas at full force.
There has been a distinct change in the weather of this match since those...
It's inside, how can you tell that?
It's a metaphor. Since Bailey apparently wore himself out, and O'Reilly, now look at this, almost getting cocky here.
I met her 4 once.
What?
I went to Marvel Live.
And you met her 4?
Yeah, 4 was there. Spider-Man was there.
On a different level tonight. Not a good one. Oh, there we go.
Cross arm breaker.
Armageddon, he calls it.
I know that.
Get it right.
I was just saying what it was.
Goes for the cover. Does Bailey to try and break the hold. The only way that you can get it. Moonsault into the double knee drop.
Wow.
Saw Bailey win his first round match with that shooting star knee drop on Banks. And that has slowed down O'Reilly's momentum as well. So now both of these guys with a chance to regroup here. Referee is not starting a count. Going to allow these two to take the time they need to get back to their feet. A lot at stake here. The chance to represent your country in the first Pro Wrestling World Cup this August in England. Yes! Bailey to the corner, but O'Reilly follows him in.
And O'Reilly now working through the pain. You can still see it there. But he's doing the best he can to absorb it. Ducks the kick, ducks a second, and is hit by a third. Wow.
Cover. O'Reilly may be out. Bailey to go to the finals, and he's a half a second away. That roundhouse kick, one of the most devastating moves in Bailey's arsenal.
Have I mentioned he's a ninja?
He's not a ninja. He does taekwondo.
Yeah, but still.
I mean, yeah, but still.
He moves like a ninja.
All right, he's a ninja. Happy? Well, maybe going for that roundhouse kick, what we talked about. And he was, but it got caught and countered into an STF by O'Reilly.
Bailey fought to stop those arms and that chin being hooked, but look at this now. Brutal. Wow.
O'Reilly follows him in with that high knee. It's an arm breaker. Oh, no, not. No, it's not. It's countered. Countered into a sleeper hold. And they're in the middle of the ring.
This is so fast, it's becoming impossible to call, but that wasn't. Full force, all impact, belly to back suplex. Takes Bailey out.
And look how quickly O'Reilly did that before he lost enough power to do it. Only allowed himself to be in that sleeper hold for a half second. He went for the pin there and he nearly got it. Such was the impact of that side suplex.
You know, sometimes in wrestling, people say, a match between these two people won't be as good, but as interesting because it's a clash of styles. But in this case, the difference in styles is creating what I would call a beautiful disaster. I wasn't expecting it in some ways, but in other ways I thought it could happen. You know, look at Guerrero Malenko, who I mentioned earlier. Very different styles, incredible opponents. And these two, wow, when they get going, they are something else.
Yeah, compelling stuff here between O'Reilly and Bailey. O'Reilly, I think, is trying to lift Bailey up. Bailey finds a way out. There's that kick again. And Bailey unleashed that a lot of times. O'Reilly replying with the same thing. They're exchanging kicks here. And I would say that you've got to think Bailey would have the advantage here, but O'Reilly...
I'm not so sure, look at this.
Yeah. God, this is brutal. Kick after kick after kick from Mike Bailey and Kyle O'Reilly, who takes away the leg. More damage done to the left leg of Mike Bailey.
Oh,
Back
Wow.
Heel into the back of the skull of Bayley. And he does the same thing to O'Reilly. They're going hold for hold, strike for strike here. Well, there's the roundhouse kick. That's the roundhouse kick. Bayley, if he has enough energy to turn O'Reilly over and get the cover, could win it here.
But he doesn't, Dave. He doesn't. Look, he is in the wrong part of town right here because he needs to be going towards the other part of the ring, not where he is, which is the ropes.
Both men absolutely motionless for several seconds after they hit the mat.
That's the problem with that roundhouse. It drives you into your opponent with such force, it actually sends you spinning out the other way away from him.
We are surely reaching the business end of this one now because these guys, both of them, are operating on fumes alone. There cannot be any gas left in the tank. Bayley knows that. He's going to try and end it here. O'Reilly doesn't know where he is. Bayley with the roundhouse. And he'll go for maybe he'll go for the shooting star. Then he gets caught. He gets caught into the arm lock from O'Reilly. Rolls through. What's he trying here? O'Reilly going to try and break the arm of Bayley. And his body weight's on top of him. Very hard for Bayley to move towards the ropes here. Using his left knee to strike the head of O'Reilly.
I don't want to sound like one of those crazy guys standing outside on the street corner with a cup, but I sense the end is near. Armageddon is not far away, Dave Bradshaw.
There's a brainbuster, and then, nearly two.
Oh, there it is! There it is! Oh.
This is how he won in the first round.
I hope I've been good in this life.
And can O'Reilly make lightning strike twice here tonight in Toronto? And he's twisted over into the ankle lock. Ankle lock by O'Reilly. Ankle lock. He's submitted the best in the business with this ankle lock. Will he do it here to Bayley?
Give credit to Bayley. He's hanging in there, but for how long?
He's inching towards the ropes. He's pulled back in.
Oh, that's it. I'm calling it.
And O'Reilly wrapping his body around that left leg.
There is no way, Dave. Look how far he is from those ropes.
Bayley. Oh, he thought about tapping. Will Mike Bayley tap out? Will Kyle O'Reilly go to the finals of the Pro Wrestling World Cup?
He needs to tap out or he needs a miracle.
So close, but so far away. Oh, he makes it. He makes it. Mike Bayley makes it, and Kyle O'Reilly has to break the ankle lock.
I don't usually believe in miracles, but that was one. Oh!
Well, he's straight back in. Bayley, he had to get out quickly there, and he did.
God, that was smart. What an escape there by Mike Bayley. Kyle O'Reilly on the outside, and Bayley setting up for... Oh no, Dave, you know what? It looks like we saw this earlier. Surely not. Oh my God!
A moonsault! Moonsault off the second rope to the outside. How did he have enough power in the left leg to do that after the ankle lock?
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. It looked like the end was nigh for Bayley, but man, this kid is impressive. If you are any promoter anywhere in the world, you want to be booking this young man because he has an incredible future ahead of him. But right now, all we can focus on, is will he make it through to the finals of the WCPW World Cup? And for UMSAT, this could go either way.
Both men are outside at the moment, and the referee has a count on. I don't know what happens if... Well, it's not going to happen anyway, but if there was a double count out, I don't know what happens to that second spot in the finals, but in any case, Bayley is in. Bayley's on the second rope. We saw this earlier. Maybe he's going for the shooting star knee drop. He is, but there's no one there.
Oh, and he landed all that impact and force on his own knees. And look at this.
O'Reilly with almost a shining wizard there to try and take down Bayley.
Bayley went dead weight to try and avoid it, but unfortunately he had nowhere to go for that knee. Oh, look, he's using a knee of his own to escape. Falls onto the top rope.
Yeah, he didn't escape quite as much as he wanted to because he's still in a very dangerous position here as O'Reilly is going to come back for more here and try and finish this off. O'Reilly, if he can hit something big off this top rope, you've got to think that that's going to be all she wrote for Bayley. But Bayley finally finds a way out, kicks O'Reilly back to the mat, and now again, Bayley ascending to the top floor.
What's he going for here? Oh!
O'Reilly kicked the leg away. I don't know whether he lured him in or whether that was desperation, but either way it worked for O'Reilly, who's going to go for the superplex. Gets countered by Bayley.
Oh, force and impact on that knee, and Dave, surely not. He's going for it. If he hits this is, oh my gosh!
The shooting star knee drop by Mike Bayley, and Mike Bayley upsets Kyle O'Reilly to go to the World Cup
Winning this
Finals.
contest, Speedball Mike Bayley.
We have seen some incredible action here in Toronto, but I'm going to tell you right now, the man that I believe the industry will be talking about coming out of this show is the man who's just earned himself a place in the finals, the one, the only Mike Bayley. This guy is phenomenal.
All the credit in the world to Kyle O'Reilly to put in such a tremendous effort given the injury he had to his left knee coming in here. But you're right, Mike Bayley has just announced his arrival to the whole wrestling world. The whole world knows his name now.
Congratulations.
Bayley joins Michael Elgin as the representatives of Canada in the finals of the Pro Wrestling World Cup. And a sign of respect there from Kyle O'Reilly. They are pumped up in Toronto as they finally know the identities of their representatives in the World Cup Finals, and one of them is Mike Bayley.
Well, what an incredible way to end the matches here in the World Cup. But Dave Bradshaw, we are not done, because we have one incredible showdown left. El Ligero takes on the WCPW champion Joe Hendry in a non-title match, and it's coming up next.
Yeah, Joe Hendry tomorrow will defend the title against Martin Kirby, but first he has to get past the Mexican sensation here in Toronto. Can he do it? Our main event coming up next here in the World Cup qualifiers.